I wonder what they think when they watch somebody record them. They're like, what the heck are they doing? No. Any Amish person I've ever been around, damn, daggone good people. They're daggone good people. I just seen turn around and look at the cameras like, what the? So I got fuel uprooters here, and this is the rig we got on the front of the skidder where we can drive back in the woods and fuel uproot the highway. But anyways, that thing packs like 200 gallons of fuel. So we can get, and it runs off the batteries of the skidder, you know, so we can run back there and hook our batteries up and fuel up our stuff. Works pretty good. Works pretty good. Now, where I'm at, this is the, what you're seeing is we're covering me cutting. Wayne Tharp come out to record us because he's a good man. And we're on the double-sided poplar job. This is about the 16th or 17th of November. I know I got some of my days screwed up right around there. Of 2020, the Corona year, the year of the Corona. My Corona. So anyways, I'm on the north end of this property. Me and Big Mama, and Wayne, I don't know where Big Daddy was. We never got no bulldozer stuff. I don't know where Big Daddy was at working. Or if at this point he was even on this job. He could have been on a different job at this point. But I'm on the north end of this property. It's a tall, long property. Double-sided poplar job is what we're calling it. But it's really red oak. It probably didn't make a lot of sense to call it double-sided poplar job because it's heavy to red oak. But there's a lot of poplar on Derek's end, and there's a lot of poplar in this area I'm getting ready to drop down into. And I'm cutting ahead. The idea behind what I'm doing is while Derek and them, Robin, Stevie, and Junkyard are working at south end of this property, and I'm getting cut ahead up on the north end. So when they cross the road to go up on the north end, they're going to be hammering down some footage, because I will have done set the pipeline full. I will have done. My brain just skipped a call. See now, what was Derek? What day did he cut? Oh, that was no. Interesting. No, there's something I'm stuck on. But by the time they finish up on the south side of the road, oh, because Derek went back over there and cut for a skidder. That's it. Okay. To skid up, and Stevie yarded over there. Yes. We end this job up. I don't know if I get footage on that or not, but we end this job up. Stevie ends up yarding on the other side of the road, county road there. We end up running 2 yards. Stevie ends up loading trucks, and Big Mama ends up loading trucks. Anyways, I'm thinking all around different scenarios here because I got my head spinning 90 mile an hour. But what we're doing today is I'm up on the north end of the property cutting ahead. And Wayne's in here recording us. And I told Wayne, while we had a minute, if it's okay with him, I'd like to show everybody the way we set this stuff up in runs. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. I call them runs. And what you're doing is you're setting the wood up in a run. When the skidder comes down there to skid them out, all he's doing is backing down on the high ground snatching up wood that I've got set up for him and popping that stuff out. So the benefits that you're getting is over the sides of the heel. You're not getting claw marks on the side of the hillside there. We're using a skidder with flotation tires, and we're kind of just backing down the knob, and Brutus is shoveling the wood up to where it's handy for the skidder. So that way we're not clawing and spinning and ripping around trying to get these trees up out of here. They're kind of set up on the high ground to start with. Back down there with a skidder, it's already got a load designed to where it's light enough the skidder can pull, which is key. And then the skidder just snatches them up and pulls them right out of there instead of spinning, clawing, and trying to create erosion, and compaction is the idea behind it. It don't work perfect, but it works pretty daggone good. And this was, I'm in a select cut hardwood timber. Those of you that's not familiar, I'm select cutting this hardwood timber. Yeah, the forester marked it. It's going to be thinned down so it can, and that's a tree without a top. See how that stem reacts flipsy-flopsily? That means that there's no top in that. And here, yeah, Wayne just getting a pan of the area. Turns out pretty good. This is heavy to poplar. Now that way this slope's facing, it'd be north, pretty much a due north slope. So what that's pointing to is a cooler site, and this poplar loves a cooler site on our longitude. You'll have to be patient with me. I've been drinking just a little bit, having a taty tot drink. That sounds like it's empty. That's all poplar. Almost every tree you're seeing is poplar. Poplar's, it's a hardwood, but it's pretty much a stem. It's not like a black oak or red oak or white oak. It's not a bushy, woofy kind of tree. It's pretty much a stem, and the limbs are on poplar are brittle, break them pretty easy. You bend them against the grain, you pop them right off. It's not much. Poplar trees are easy to work, but they're worth more money than they ever was before, but the reputation of poplars not being an expensive wood, it's tends to be stems instead of limbs, so you end up doing a lot of trim with them. They're easy for molder, they're easy to cut in a molder, so just the type of wood that's easy, and it takes stain well. Poplar stains real well, and of course people that paints wood, which is I'd highly urge against that. I got paint trim in my house. I'm not sitting there shunning anybody and pointing a finger and saying shame, shame. I've got painted trim in the oldest part of our house, but the new part of our house that we built a few years back, it's all stained. Wood is meant to be unstained, daggone. Natural finish. We stained a little bit, but very little. But man, natural finished wood is where it's at. And it's, what we do out here on the ground, we're trying to practice silviculture, and to do, the byproduct of practicing, that's what, what we're supposed to be doing here. The side effect is the product. The side effect's supposed to be paying for managing the resource. You know what I mean? All right, I'm back. I went up to eat supper, and I helped my boys do their homework. and they are so awesome. My babies, they said Daddy's a good daddy, and that they love Daddy, and that he's a good daddy, and Mommy's a good mommy. Oh, that makes it feel so good. I don't even care about trees now. No, just kidding. I always care about trees. All right. Oh, where are we at? So we're down here at the north end, down on the hillside, throwing these big old ground thumping poplars down. You can kind of see a windrow behind Brutus there. So I'm trying to get these trees in that windrow. Now watch, this is a cool deal. Okay, now this tree, I knew I couldn't pull it over backwards, so I went ahead and cut it and pushed it forwards into the other tree and got the butt cut all the way off. Now that the butt's cut off, now watch what I'm doing here. So I'm going to grab him up high, and I'm going to pull him back, stand him back up straight off of that other tree, swing him over where I want him to go, and check that out. Beautiful. Oh! So what I did was use that other tree for a backstop to hold him so I can finish cutting the butt. Never feel like I ever get it across unless you guys have seen it. You know, it's something, it's a big deal to me, but I don't think I ever portray it, is how you move. You see what I mean? You notice that? Okay, so up here, and the only reason I'm doing this is because you've covered this whole thing from your perspective that I never cover because I'm always like in person. But how you start up there, you got to pick your lines. And you see how the lines was, that line comes down that ridge top, so you're staying with your high ground. This line is going to come down this ridge top on the other side of this black oak tree. You see what I mean? As you go down it, you're trying to pick your route to where when you turn the machine, you turn it on high ground or on trash. You're not turning the machine when you're on just dirt. And you pick your path to where you go to a certain spot and you do all your project, all your work to that spot. And with Stevie doing his thing, is plays into it all because you don't have to clean the tree up perfect. You just got to make it light enough and not limby enough to move. So you're not driving over to do things that it's not extremely necessary and running on the ground more. So you're trying to protect the ground. So you can see, like right here is what I wanted to show the best I could. As Brutus cuts, it shovels. So I'm sitting in a spot to where I'm not tearing up the earth, and I'm moving things to where I need to, so it's shuffled to where when we actually come to skid it, everything's already set to where in piles where it needs to be, and the paths are already picking. So what we get into is on our finish work, when we was hand cutting and cable skidding, our finish work was a lot. We had a lot of finish work to do, and it's very. Of course, everybody's like, well, you need to get a cable skidder because you don't tear the ground up. Well, that ain't necessarily the case. If you're not used to using this new equipment, which took me a long time to learn myself, you do tear up on the ground. But once you get used to it, and once you figure out how to pick your rows, pick your runs, pick your lines that you're going to run through, once you figure all that out, the ground disturbance, look at the ground disturbance. I didn't even knock the leaves off hardly anywhere. I got in that spot there where I'm tilted. If I'm tilted on the hillside, it's a problem. So I try to eliminate that as much as possible. But everywhere where I'm not turned on a hillside, which is in the thought process, there's not, look at the, come over here and look at it, Wayne. And once you figure them lines out, you can do it like that, my God, you can cover some ground. You can really put a lot of wood on the ground when it's tractor. want to say.
Oh, honey bunny, with your bunny, honey bunny. Night.
That's what she sounds like when she gets nagging at me.
Night.
There you go.
Okay, now.
No.
Okay, where are we at? You gonna bring my phone back, woman? Well, I tell her how it is. She knows. She knows who wears the pants around here. Nothing. I can't get a rise out of her. Nothing. What you doing, boy? Are you ready for bed? You gonna get up in the morning coming, Daddy? All right, come here and tell you hi to everybody. I'm recording.
Hi.
Calvin Malvies is coming to work with Daddy tomorrow.
In the morning, so I have playtime. Because on my game, it's an important day.
Why is it an important day?
It's called Gravity Mode on World of Tanks. It has World War II tanks except the WAC because that doesn't have much history. And Gravity Mode is like, it's still a big tank like a mouse. It was a heavy German tank. You think it's heavy armor, takes a while to reload and slow. But on Gravity Mode, it's fast, like a T-34 Russian tank.
Wow, T-34 was a good one. T-34 was a 12-cylinder, wasn't it?
Yep, Russian tank. It's pretty fast, and reload time wasn't too shabby. I have one tank that takes 3 seconds to reload, and does 100, or if you're lucky, 200 damage. And,
Wow.
And I have an American tank. It's kind of weird. It has a T1 heavy body, but a ginormous turret with a hump on the back. And it can damage a KV-5 on the front armor, which is surprising.
Well, what's it called?
I forgot. It has a lot of numbers in its name. And I have the weakest tank. It looks like it's sniping because it has a very long barrel, like as long as you.
Wow.
And it's a Japan tank.
It's a Japanese tank, huh?
Mhm.
Well, didn't Japan have some of the older tanks towards the end?
Well, anyway.
They had some older ammunition, I thought, during the war.
Yeah. It don't do so shabby. It looks like a sniping tank, but actually it's full battery. Well, anyways, Gravity Mode is still in a big, heavy tank like a mouse or E100. Only tanks like that. It'll be fast. And if you shoot a little tank with a big tank, you'll go flying in the air. And that's
Wow,
important.
you think that happened in the war? They go flying in the air?
No. It's
Okay,
it's
so you know
a-
better.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell everybody what you said about Daddy earlier, because I tried to tell everybody earlier.
Well,
See, I want y'all to hear this, because so I ain't putting words in Budgie's mouth, because it is so awesome.
Mom and Dad are very good parents, and we're lucky that they give us important things to us, like a phone and an iPad. People don't get it when they're almost 21.
That's probably because you're not supposed to have iPads. That probably don't make us good parents.
Or you do stuff for us, like you pay for our showers, feed us
beat
good
you.
food. Yeah,
What about
beat
beating
us.
us? Beating good, some good, real good beatings, don't
Mhm.
we? Some of the best beatings a baby could have, ain't it?
Yeah, like you flame us on the bed.
Yeah,
That's a
baby
food.
slams.
And
Yeah.
you hop on us and
Yep,
beat our
beat
butts.
us and beat your butts and yeah.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, pretty good one.
I bet you're jealous.
Daddy
I'm
does.
probably jealous.
Yeah, Daddy's jealous that he don't get beat like Calvin Malvies does.
Mm-hmm.
You're so cute. I love you.
Right too. And Dad got his new truck. It looks
Yes,
like
what do you think of it? Tell everybody what you think of the new truck, the new Sarah's truck.
I love it. It reminds me of Whitey because how big it is.
Yep.
And Mama acted like she was confused, like she wanted to walk with right here. And
Interesting.
But we're wondering what you're gonna do with your old storage truck. Like I
know.
don't want you to put it in the junk pile because it matters to you. You had it for years and you took
Yep.
it to work.
Yep.
I-
Daddy drove that truck to work for a lot of years.
And you can't just throw away something that you've been driving for years. Maybe sell it.
I thought if there was a young man trying to get started, like a young man
that wants to fix something.
that wants to fix it up a little bit, not have much money in it, fix it up and get started doing construction work or something,
Yeah, like
and then he could sell it later and get him rekindle some of his money back and get him a nicer thing later, you know,
like a 16-year-old that wants to be a mechanic later.
something like that, yeah. And his dad, maybe him and his dad could strip the bed off and fix it up. Stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it yet.
I have a plan with the white truck.
Okay.
You can't go in the back because no seats or seat belts. And it's dangerous because you know
There's seat belts in the back.
there are. So
The seats was folded up,
I
so
didn't
seat
know
belts
that.
fell underneath. No, it's got seat belts.
We just have to fix it.
We just have to pull them up through the seats.
So it's kind of like a movie theater with that seat belt. I didn't know that. Mom told me that there's no seat belts and we
Because
cannot-
Mommy didn't look under the seats, where the seat belts probably fell when you folded the seats up.
Are we allowed to around in the back?
Well, do whatever you want to do.
Except this
Think Mommy's gonna drive it? Mommy said she
maybe
would.
one day.
She said she'd drive it.
How much did it cost?
$20,000.
Pretty expensive.
Pretty expensive. It's more than Daddy's worth.
No, you're worth more.
Worth more than $20,000.
A human is worth
What do you think if Daddy was on the block? What do you think Daddy brings? 25, 30,
3 billion.
3 billion? You think somebody paid? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I would.
You wouldn't pay no 3 billion for Daddy. That baby.
I do
High five.
anything. I do anything.
Oh, you so sweet. I'd do anything for you too.
Well, there's some things like I won't motor anyone.
No.
Like maybe give all my money to him. I'll do that. And one day he become old, which is sad because still it's soon they're gonna die. I'm gonna take care of you guys, and maybe Levi Jackson's gonna help.
What if they don't? What if you get stuck? What if Daddy poops himself? And Daddy's like, Calvin, can you clean this up? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll pull off and paint
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on the way
yeah.
and throw in the toilet.
Get out the garden hose.
Yeah.
No, Daddy will take care of himself. Mommy's probably going to be terrible. Daddy, we'll probably take care of Mommy, wouldn't we? Because mine probably wouldn't be no good. She'd be like, I can't do nothing for myself because I'm old now.
That,
Probably forget who I am. She'll probably forget who Budgies is.
we just wear name tags. I'll get you.
What if she forgets how to read? Well, Mommy gets so old and decrepit she forgets how to read.
I'll teach you. Every
Read
time-
teacher?
Yep.
I bet you.
On the days off, when I'm down with my YouTube videos, I'll go to your house and teach Mom. Like I won't teach her the whole name. I'll be like, okay, this is what L looks like, and that's the starting of Levi's name. Can you say Levi? Yeah.
Ziggle, nerd! I don't know. I poop myself.
Oh, I'll probably have to wear glasses.
Oh.
And I'll be like, okay, if you see someone
At that
wearing
point,
these-
Mommy and Daddy will both be wearing glasses. Big old thick Coke ball glasses that Daddy be wearing.
no
Daddy.
glasses.
Yeah. Daddy would be wearing the nerdiest. Daddy'd purposely pick out the nerdiest pair just to drive Mommy crazy.
I'll pick you a pair.
You'd be like a real nerdy pair for Daddy.
But it has to be made out of wood.
Man, yeah, like Daddy's wooden frames, nerdy wooden frames. Are you stalling? You need to get your butt in bed if you're getting up with Daddy in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a kiss and get your butt in bed. I love you.
I don't know. I'm gonna go in the back.
Okay. Well, you can probably end up sleeping halfway to work.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and put on
Okay. Well, I'll snuggle you up. I love you.
Love you too.
Get your butt to sleep. Boy! Don't make me come up there. I'll whip that. Beat that baby. Baby ain't no good. Baby, damn, baby ain't no good. Get rid of that kid. Kid's the worst. Oh, that's so special. Yeah, he said mommy and daddy's good parents. Which what does he know? He don't know what good parents is. Because we're good parents because we let him play with iPads and stuff. Anyway, I apologize for that. But I do some of that stuff because I want, if anything ever happens to me someday, or my babies or anything like that, I want to be able to just go somewhere, watch that, listen to that, or I'd like for them to be able to go listen to it, or grandkids or anybody, I love that part. But I'm telling you, anybody out there that's thinking about having kids, man, that's what it's all about. Make your whole life. That's what we're put here for, We can play all our games we want to play and stuff like that, but that's what we're here for, Anyways, Wayne has come out and he is filming Big Mama right now. She's out in the yard and they are hauling from across the street. Junkie is from Stevie, Robin, and Derek. And he's coming across the road and dumping, going after another, and turning, burning, going after another. And again, he's cleaning these chunks off her table so they don't get caught in her saw. Or she'll reach down there and clean that other one off. There's another one off. Again, he's getting pretty daggone good on this boom. She still donks around from time to time, but she's the way she operates. She gets her hands are up off the armrest because it fits what feels comfortable to her, But she's getting real slick at this thing. She's been operating for a few years now. Again, he's put probably more hours on this boom than any of us has at this point. And this boom's been real good to us. I still got to rebuild that. You look out in the sky up there where Wayne was showing that jib boom cylinder. I got to repack that thing. The jib boom cylinder. But the main boom cylinders have been done. No, I thought I did the jib boom cylinder. Well, what cylinder do I got to repack now? No, it's one of the mains. No, I got to do the jib cylinder yet. Jib cylinder's leaking out the gland. The gland, so everybody knows, it's not familiar with that. The gland is what the head of the cylinder. I don't know what, I always call it the gland. Some people call it the head of the cylinder. And it's where the rod slides in and out of the cylinder, and the material, the plastic or rubber, or whatever it is, deteriorates over time, and you have to put a kit in it. That's where we're at with it now. Check the can out, make sure it ain't got scratches and stuff in it. But more than likely, with the way this machine's been, it'll be pretty good shape. Now you see that's Derek's. Stevie didn't get that end cut off of that tree there. See if she cuts that end off. See what she got there. Got to cut them off square. For the sawmill, you don't need to. Excuse me. You don't need to go in a sawmill camphor like that. But basically, what Derek's doing with the rubber cutter is he's just topping them at the best he can to get the top knocked out of them, and somebody had to clean it up later. That's kind of the trade-off of the rubber. To the benefits to the rubber cutters is a lot cheaper operating cost with the rubber tire cutter than it is running Brutus. And the rubber tire cutter has its strong points, easy laying ground, selective cutting, scattered timber, you know, that type of thing is good for Titus. But you get into harder laying ground, bigger trees, tighter tracks where your wood's closer together, things of that nature. Brutus kind of, and forking trees, he's kind of better with the wolf trees than the rubber cutter is. But you get into stems, it's in a grove that you're thinning. Now that rubber cutter, that son of a buck's hard to beat. As far as economical, cheap operating. But you don't, the tops don't come out clean, or the top of the tree. Now, you see how she picked that big tree up right there? This concept of shortening them up to get them in the back of tiny really makes life easier on this boom. The stress of healing a full-size tree over and putting it into the table full-length tree really hard on that boom, and that boom's going to last a lot longer doing what it's doing now, picking these smaller, shorter trees up and throwing them up on that table to redo them, to cut them. And I don't know, our balance is real good for the equipment we got right now because, well, it's hard to explain, but all the equipment, the pieces we got right now, fits well with each other. The way to be able to cut with that rubber cutter and then pop them out of the woods just real quick to a den that can clean it up real good, or excavator, sorry, rather. Den and clean it up real good. The hell? Hey, why ain't you in bed?
I'm just waiting to go to sleep.
Well, you need to go get to sleep. Daddy's gonna get you up in the morning.
I know. I just need to ask one question.
Okay, that's one question.
Alright, Mom, stop. I'm talking about the box on the back. Does it have seats?
No. What the box on the back does of the truck is to where you can put stuff inside it and it'll stay dry. So you got more storage area. And it'll stay dry. So I can carry parts. I can carry things, parts, more fluids and stuff like that. Just stuff that we might need in the woods. You see what I mean?
I thought you mean the box that had the tools.
What do you mean? Oh! No, I was talking about the back seat of the cab. The box don't have no seats in it. Box is going to have a fuel tank. Box is going to have parts mostly, yeah. Parts, fuel tank, chainsaws, equipment, shovels, picks, axes. Yep. All right, Daddy, continue. Okay, I love you. Well, that's good. Daddy always love you too, okay? So anyways, junkyard's dumping there. And see, he's headed back across the county road and trucking on. Now, junkyard's hauling 1 1/10 mile. That's how far the skid is. Which is a considerable distance. And I don't know what their load average is a day, but it's keeping the boomer trucking along. She didn't run out of nothing to do before he come right back in there. That's crooked again. He go for an 8. There you go. There you go. And the brakes out of the grapple there. Something ain't adjusted properly. Did you go for an 8 or a 7 on that thing? Usually hate going a 7 on a butt log because you can usually squeeze out a face board on a butt log, but not if you make it too short. The shortest board you can get, the shortest board that can make a face, which is your high dollar board. The shortest board you can do that with is 8-footer. So a 7 foot 11 inches is too short. So a lot of times you'll take a crooked log, even though you'd like to cut a 7-footer out of it, you'll need to go ahead and cut an 8 and take your chances. And here she's pulling number 9 in. Start loading it. I think Robin's driving it today. I don't know what happened to his truck. I've slept in it, and that's been, see, I'm editing today. It's March 31st. Heck, it's been, well, thump it, Guinea. It's been 4.5 months since this has been recorded. Actually, 5.5. No, 4. Yeah, 5.5. Yeah, about 5.5 months. No, March is 3 months. It's in April. Yeah, 5.5 or 4.5 months. Been a while. Slept since then. Now, the reason, those of you that ain't been on my channel much here, that's new to this or whatever, the reason that I'm editing 4.5-month-old Bridget is because we are up working in the Crane Naval Base right now, which the cutting is done. 1st of April was the cutoff, and that's the last day of March. So cutting is done on Crane, but we can still skid out a little bit. And we got probably a week's worth of skidding to do after I got done with the cutting here. So the cutting gets shut off 1st of April because of the bat, Indiana brown bat or whatever the heck they call it. Just aggravating. Well, I'll shut up. I hope y'all like this. Thanks all. Have a good one later on.